So, my friends, welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin at 109,600 US dollars. What a candle yesterday, and it might just keep going like this. Still, we should pay attention to where we actually are right now. What does the heat map say? What do the funding rates say? And could we possibly get one last retest before we even rise toward 180,000 US dollars? We'll definitely take a look at all of that in today's update video. But before we get started, feel free to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, join the free Telegram Talk and Signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, feel free to join the free Telegram group. You'll find the link for it for free down in the video description. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we're discussing here, feel free to sign up with my partner exchange Binks. There, you can trade everything we discuss in the video. You can also do staking and much more. Plus, you're supporting the channel, or me, by doing so. Alright. So, Bitcoin at 109,600 US dollars. What a candle. Let's take a look at the daily candle. It looks very, very impulsive, even on our other chart. Let's go ahead and add the vector candle here as well. It's a stopping volume candle. Yeah, that's not exactly the most desirable thing. Still, it was a nice move up yesterday, on Monday, at least for now. That's actually the kind of thing we want to see in the end. What I'm still missing here, or what's still a bit uncertain, is the thought that we've already worked through everything to the upside for now. So, we had our red resistance box, that was actually my short area, worked through up to 109,000 to 109,300 US dollars. We even went a bit higher, climbed up to 110,600 US dollars, and haven't quite filled this wick up here yet, but okay, that would have been the next resistance right here. Still, where I would feel safe now is if we drop back down into the 106,000 US dollar range, because we also have quite a few vectors lying here. And just for the sake of completeness, there's also a nice vector down here, to then carry out this retest, form support from yesterday, and then break through to the upside. That would be the bullish case for me, aiming for the 114,000 to 116,000 US dollar range. Honestly, it's not that far off anymore, and I don't think it's unlikely either. As soon as this resistance up here breaks, then we can talk about it. For now, as I said, a retest down here would be expected. Honestly, we really shouldn't drop below the 105,000 to 104,000 US dollar range anymore. Otherwise, we can completely write off those targets up there. So then I'd be, completely bearish, or even more bearish than I already am. That's why this support here really needs to hold for now, so that we can, let's say, break through to the upside. That would actually be the perfect retest for today. Otherwise, today or rather tomorrow, regarding the news, if we take a quick look, today was relatively quiet, but tomorrow, yeah, the CPI data will be very, very exciting, and especially, people are expecting the CPI data to rise to 2.5%. So, seeing rising inflation again is actually something the Fed doesn't really want to see. That could lead to liquidation cascades tomorrow, causing prices to drop and then get bought up again right away for various reasons. But keep in mind that at least until Wednesday at 2:30 p.m., prices could continue to rise. If we get a retest beforehand, that's clearly a long opportunity, otherwise, we should see a dump here on Wednesday. In any case, this is still something you should keep an eye on. But there's also something extremely bullish that I don't want to keep from you, and I noticed it yesterday. I already posted it in the Telegram group yesterday. There were still some people going, But I also want to show you the comparison here in the video to explain why Bitcoin could rise to roughly 180,000 US dollars. We actually have a similar pattern, just looking at the candles like we did last October. So, what am I getting at? I'm talking about these three candles. We had this upward movement, which we also had here. Then a candle with small wicks on the top and bottom, small wick on top and bottom, a red candle that, in the end, was also lower than, the green candle here. Same thing here. Then, yeah, you could call this a doji candle, I think, and then this impulse in this week. And we have exactly the same scenario right now, as things currently stand, so please, as things currently stand, depending on how the week closes. And if we just overlay the fractal here, we basically have, yeah, exactly the same, yeah, target zone. So we lay the fractal over this 1-to-1. Fits perfectly. This week would then be that 114, 116K, which is actually my price range as well. Then consolidation, and after that, really just open-ended until August, well, the first or second week of August. 172,000 US dollars. That would currently be the fractal level. What's important for that? As I said, no more closes below 104,000 US dollars. That would be point number one, and yes, it will only really be in play if we actually hit 115,000 US dollars this week. I don't think it's unlikely. Keep it in the back of your mind, but it doesn't have to happen 100%. It's just a probability. Just keep that in mind. I noticed that yesterday because the similarities to the candles, the last 3 candles, are just striking, and also how this week has started. And we're really not far off from that. So just keep it in the back of your mind, and feel free to share your opinion in the comments below. Let's move on to the altcoins, and things aren't looking bad there either. Ethereum is at 2,680 US dollars. Very, very good. At the peak, we even reached 2,727. We're back at the upper edge of our range. I'm actually starting to like the volume here. We're at least seeing a little bump, slowly but surely moving into the right territory. Sure, RSI on 1 hour, on 4-hour chart completely oversold, overbought at this point. Same thing here. It wouldn't be a bad idea to drop back down, do a retest, and then push with full momentum toward 3,000 US dollars. That wouldn't be a bad thing, and it wouldn't be bad for Bitcoin either. We'll have to take a look at that. Still, a very, very nice upward move here. The 200 SMA held. We broke through the 5 and 13 EMA to the upside. So, things aren't looking too bad at the moment. And it's the same story with Solana, same thing. Pump to the upside now. Yesterday I said, take profit 1 and stop loss set. Bam, shot up to 161 US dollars here, pumping toward the monthly pivot. Things aren't looking too bad everywhere, but the indicators are starting to get pretty overheated. You need to keep that in mind. We're really kind of at the limit right now after that strong pump, so think about taking some profits, being a bit more cautious, maybe even opening a small hedge short just to possibly catch a move to the downside. Better safe than sorry at this point, and that goes for the altcoins too, of course. No, that's not where I wanted to go right now. Let's move over to the traditional markets. And let's start with gold here. Gold is still holding at our support level. I think I'll wait before opening a new position here, maybe later today or tomorrow when the CPI data comes out. So we're trading around our support at the 200 SMA on the 4-hour chart, because in the past it's always been a very, very strong support. Still, we could see another pullback toward $3,280. That's kind of the question right now. We've left our position and are gambling a bit here, but that could still lead to a pullback for now. That's why maybe take it a bit easy with the position here. It's still running, it's not like it's over, but when it comes to doubling up and things like that, I'd play it safe and set a stop loss at entry. Let's move over to the traditional markets. Not much is really happening with the Dow Jones. The Nasdaq is still hovering right at the edge, but people are waiting here. So right now, the move that Bitcoin just made, you'd actually expect the Nasdaq to have already hit a new all-time high as well, but that's not the case. We're seeing a bit of a struggle in the price here. That's just how I put it right now. People are waiting. They're probably waiting for tomorrow's inflation data, waiting for some kind of big move that will either push us above the all-time high or drag us all the way down. We've already seen Tesla get pulled down because of the whole Trump story, which is now off the table, so Tesla is recovering again. Let's see what other effects this will have. The S&P 500 continues to rise. And last but not least, if we take a look at the euro, which is also struggling a bit but is still up here, every little dip, at least on the 1-hour time frame, gets bought up again and traded back and forth. The US dollar is also struggling a bit right now, still undervalued. So, being at 99 here isn't really ideal either. If the inflation data comes in tomorrow as expected at 2.5% or even lower, in my opinion, the euro will probably shoot up completely and the dollar will just keep depreciating, because interest rates won't be cut. We don't even need to prepare for that, and we've already seen this happen repeatedly over the past few weeks. And if we take a quick look at the Fed Watch tool year for June, it's at 99%. There would have to be a huge surprise for rates to be cut next week. For July, it's now at 85%. The earliest expectation is that rates will be cut in September. And that could mean further decline for the dollar and continued rising rates for the euro. Let's see what happens now, whether we get our little flash crash. Otherwise, I'll probably start cautiously looking to go long tomorrow because of the inflation data. That's it from my side for now. Later, there will probably be a short altcoin update video or stock video. And otherwise, that's it from me. I wish you all a great start to your day. Take care, leave a like, subscribe, join the Telegram group, and we'll catch up again later. Until then, bye-bye, and as always,